Moms tend to be so critical of themselves, and I think we have to stop before we judge ourselves and say, where did that expectation come from? And is that the kind of expectation that I want to guide my decisions and my choices and my priorities by? I'm Chelsea Skaggs, founder of Postpartum Together and the Unlocked Motherhood community. And I'm here to talk to you about how to evaluate your expectations when it comes to motherhood. Because let's be honest, you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. And the more you try, you're going to burn yourself the fuck out. One of the first things that I teach my clients is to look at what kind of expectations they have for themselves. This could be their goals, but also just these metrics that they are measuring their success, their worth, their progress, their ability to be a quote unquote good mom by. And we are getting inputs all of our life. Even this morning, as I was dropping my daughter off at daycare, I noticed that one of the teachers said something to her that when I thought about it, I realized that is creating an expectation in her brain of who she is supposed to be and become as she grows into a woman. And I actually didn't love that. From the time we are young, we start to internalize the ways that a woman is, a mom is. What does it mean to be in a relationship, to be in a family? And some of these are very helpful. And we need those things in order to build a foundation. I mean, without any kind of picture and structure and idea, we don't have a foundation. And that is not the place we want to be. But when we take everything in and we let it impact our expectation of ourselves, we are setting ourselves up for failure. There are a lot of places that we build these expectations. And so over the next couple of minutes, I just want to invite you to kind of go on a walk throughout your life of saying, what did I pick up? And out of these things I picked up, what do I want to keep carrying into a favorite version of myself and motherhood? And what do I need to put down because it is not serving me and it's not serving my family? So we can go, let's go in kind of chronological order. We start to see things like princesses and movies and shows. And even as young kids, we start to see like the tabloids that are in the grocery store. I mean, we are seeing these images everywhere. I know from an early age, we started to see things about bouncing back and your body after baby and things around body image. And that sticks with us. We also see how motherhood and female leaders are portrayed in TV shows and in movies. And the thing is, for those of you in a partnership, your partner has also internalized those things, both about a mother and about their role as a partner, as a father as well. Continuing on, we start to have these conversations with our friends, and we see not only our families as we grow, but we start to see our friends' families and families in the community. And this forms what we think it means and how we form the expectations of being a mother. And then as we get closer to the time of becoming a mother, we have the online influencers. We have what we saw in our family and we're trying to emulate or not emulate from our own mothers and grandmothers and matriarchal people in our lives. We have the way that we're seeing our different friends step into motherhood. We're hearing the comments and the maybe subconscious expectations of your parents, your in-laws, the aunts, the grandmas, the people in your life who maybe make suggestive comments about, well, of course you're going to, or I know you will, or aren't you going to blank? Those things impact us. We see this in our community structures, whether this is the workplace, which highly impacts what we think we should be able to do, how we should be able to perform, and how quickly we should be able to recover, specifically for those of you who are in communities and workplaces with a lack of proper parental leave. We see this in churches and in community groups, social groups. There are these expectations and ideas that we gather, and this is part of the human experience. I am in no way suggesting that we get less inputs necessarily, but that we become better bouncers. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. I like to imagine that I have this tiny little Chelsea like right here in my brain, and things start to come in, because they do, because that is the human experience. That is what it means to live amongst other people. But I have to create a mini bouncer in my brain that says, you can come in. You are a thought. You are an expectation. You are an idea. You are a foundational statement that is going to be helpful because it aligns with your values. Or you're the bouncer that says like, oh, sorry, nope, you don't make it in. That expectation is not in alignment with who you're trying to be and the values you're trying to hold. So we create this bouncer by understanding our values, our priorities. I have a whole podcast episode and a free resource on creating a motherhood vision and crafting what it is that you really want and getting clear about what you don't want. That is the things that you want the bouncer to not let into the club. That is the party in your brain. And be clear about what kind of things do get in. You are responsible for guarding your input. Another way I see this show up is honestly in like mom circles and mom groups, where there can be a lot of performative exchanges, or there can be really, really authentic connections. And if I could tell you anything about forming your kind of community, your village, which then drives your foundational experience, it is to find the mom friends where you don't have to perform. This might not be the popular mom. This might not be the person at the stroller group with the fanciest stroller. There's might not be the person that is dressed head to toe in the cutest Lululemon, is that how you say it? That's how cool I am. I think it's Lululemon. Now I'm embarrassed. But it's not always that person. It's a person where you can feel accepted, where because you are overwhelmed, you are overworked, you are under-rested. There are a lot of things that make you vulnerable and kind of just your precious cargo right now. You sweet little thing. You deserve people and places and spaces where you can let down your walls and just breathe. And that might be hard because someone else is performative, and that makes it hard. Or it might be hard because you struggle with comparison regardless of what the other people are doing, and you just can't enter spaces right now where you're going to feel comparison and self-judgment. You are responsible for guarding your input. I'm going to recap this. Step 1 is making sure you understand what do you want out of motherhood. Who do you want to be? How do you want to feel as a mom? What do you want to be the top priority no matter what circumstances go off hinge, no matter what kind of circuses enter or fires become a part of your life? You want these things to be true of your family experience and what your children remember about their childhood. You have to get clear about those things. And then you have to evaluate, what expectations have I carried into motherhood, into this season where I am right now? Which of those expectations are serving me and which of those expectations are not? And then you create the bouncer in your brain. You can come in, you cannot. You can come in, you cannot. It's not about controlling other people. It's not about making sure that your great aunt never says something. It's about being the guard of your inputs and knowing what gets to come in and what doesn't. Now, a next step in this, we're not going to get into this today, but a next step is understanding how to communicate boundaries. And that starts, though, in the same place. It starts with knowing your values and your vision and what you do and don't want out of motherhood, because that makes your boundary setting, your communication, that makes it impactful. It's not reactive. It's not, you hurt my feelings, or please stop doing that, or I'm just not going to let any of you come into my house anymore because you're overwhelming me. Like, these kinds of things can even fall on well-intentioned people and create a disconnect. And that's not what we're going for here. We are inviting people to care for you and your family well. And we only do that if we know what that means. And we only know what that means if we're clear about our vision, about our goals, and about our values as a mom, and what we do want that to look like and what we don't want that to look like. and how we guard the foundation of our expectations because of that. This is something that, first of all, I go into in module 1 of the Motherhood Unlocked course inside the Motherhood Unlocked community. This is also something that I do more one-on-one with those moms who want to really have a private coaching experience and understand themselves on this very deep level. And when we're doing that, I'm working with you to brain dump, to understand all the things that are coming in for you right now, all the goals you hold in your mind, like all these ideas, all the open tabs you have in your brain. I'm going to help you organize that. And then we're going to get clear about your values and what you want this time to be for you and your family. And then we're going to talk about how to implement new strategies, new mindsets, new conversations with your partner or with other people to help you get there. It all starts with knowing what you do want and what you don't want, and then knowing how to gauge your expectations and other people's expectations against that so that you can make intentional choices for you and your family. I hope that this has given you some kind of aha moment. I hope that it has helped you to maybe let go of some of the dead weight that you're carrying. That is expectations that don't serve you. You can let that go. That is exhausting you. That is taking your time and energy, and it's not worth it, okay? You can do anything, but you cannot do everything, mom. And if you try to, you're going to be burnt out, frustrated, overwhelmed, and not able to show up for your family the ways that you want to. I'm Chelsea Skaggs, founder of Postpartum Together and the Motherhood Unlocked community. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope that you subscribe and follow this podcast and this channel so that we can keep having these important conversations. And if there's something you want to hear me discuss, shoot me a message. If there's an aha moment you had from today's episode, shoot me a message. And if you want to get more support, make sure to check out the Motherhood Unlocked community and my one-on-one coaching option. Until next time, mama, in case no one's told you, you're doing a great job. This shit is hard. I believe in you.